So, day 58 is Numbers 8 through 10. These chapters have a lot of information in them as well. So, in chapter 8, God told Moses, who told Aaron, how to light the lamps. And he also instructed him about how to ceremoniously clean the Levites so that they can serve Aaron and his sons and help with taking care of the tabernacle. He also let Moses know that, he being God, let Moses know that the Levites are to hold this role, all of the males, from the age of 25 to 50. At the age of 50, they should retire. They can help, provide instruction on what needs to be done and how it should be done. But as far as them actually doing the work themselves, they shouldn't do it past 50. They should instruct some of the younger men how to do it. So I assume that this is so that generations to come will continue the traditions and know how to do it and learn from the older gentlemen. Also, is helping to preserve them because they shouldn't have to work, their whole life. Like, the whole goal is to retire eventually. So I think that it's interesting that God, kind of put in retirement at age 50. I think we retire now like 60 something. Some people retire in their 70s. Anyway, it goes on to chapter 9, which talks about the Passover. And in this chapter, it also lets us know that this is the second year that they are in the wilderness. So they went through, this was only supposed to be like an 11-day journey. And to know that, now they trekking on year 2 is, and to know even further that it's 40 years that they are in the wilderness is even more mind-boggling. But anyway, they let us know they're in year 2 of coming out of Egypt. And so they are about to do the Passover and everybody's doing it. But then there are like some people who are unclean because of a dead body. And remember, if they are in the presence of a dead body and they're considered unclean, they have to go through the whole ceremony to get themselves back clean. And so they're like, in their head, I assume they were thinking, by the time we get clean, the Passover going to be over. So we need to figure out what we need to do so that we can be obedient to God. And Moses is like, well, this hasn't happened before. They're only year 2. This hasn't happened before. Let me consult God and see what he says about it, right? So God's like, well, get clean and then just do the Passover the next month is essentially what I got from it. So then that's what they do. So moving on to, oh yeah. Not moving on. Back to chapter 9. They also describes how the cloud, remember how God said that there will be a cloud that leads them during the day and fire at night. So the cloud that leads them during the day, they were saying that they follow the cloud. So wherever the cloud goes, they essentially follow it. So if the cloud is hovering for a day, 3 days, they stay in camp there. If once it starts to move, that's when they pack up and leave. And the timing of the cloud hovering varies. It could be a year, it could be a month, it could be a week, it could be a couple of hours. It didn't matter. They followed the cloud, which essentially means they followed God. Now moving on. In chapter 10, God instructs Moses to basically build trumpets, 2 trumpets. And these trumpets will have different sounds, which would mean different things. So there's a sound that means, come on, everybody pack up, we're getting ready to go. There's a sound that means, leaders, come meet me at the tabernacle so we can have a meeting. There's a sound that's like, oh, it's time to pray. There's a sound for it's just different things. All the sounds have different alarms. There's a sound for God to come rescue them from their enemies. Just anything you could think of, there's a sound, essentially. So there's that. So it became time for them to do their first little move. And assuming Moses made a sound, the group got together and they moved out. And in this chapter, it lets us know how they moved, because at this point it was like a lot of people. I forget the number of people, but it's a lot of people that Moses is leading. In the previous chapters, we know the total of the men, and then you can add on the women and children too. But anyway, of these people, of course, they had to have order and leaving and packing up and traveling. So in chapter 10, it tells us, this tribe will get up and move, and then this tribe, and then this tribe, and then it ends with this tribe. So that's the order that they went. After the cloud was moving, the people had to move too. So they did it orderly, in an orderly fashion. God liked things in order. So that was good to know, because I was wondering, I'm like, do they hit a horn and just run on out? But no, it's this one's first. So once this one leaves, then it's your turn, and then so on and so forth. Also, Moses, when it was time for them to leave, Moses asked his brother-in-law Hobab, I don't know if I said that right, Hobab, Hobab, asked him, hey, come with us. And he's like, no, I'm going back home. And if you recall, his dad is Moses' father-in-law, and Raul, I think is his name, and he goes by another name too, Jethro and Raul. He has two names. I forget why, but yeah. So Jethro came to visit Moses, and he was the one to tell Moses that he should get some leaders and have the leaders hear the people problems so he don't tire himself out. And then after he told Moses that, Moses basically said, okay, goodbye, you go back home now. So Hobab was like, yeah, okay, goodbye, I'm ready to go back home now. And he's like, no, wait a minute, we need you, know where to camp. And when he said that, I'm like, wait, what do you mean he knows where to camp? But I think what it is once God shows them where to camp, because again, they following the cloud. So once God stops and the cloud is still, and they like, okay, this is where we need to camp, then Hobab comes in with his expertise and let them know, like, okay, we should make our tents here, because over there it might rain or something might happen, and it wouldn't be a good idea to put our camp there, our tents there. So I think that's what he means when he says, you know where to camp, like, where we need to pitch our tents. I think he means, after God tells us where we need to be, you're good at, the location. And then he tells them, like, hey, if you come with us, you can partake in, whatever for the Israelites. We'll share with you. And God has this promised land for us and all this and all that. So you can come too, like, come be a part of it. And it doesn't say that Hobab said no. So I think he does end up going with them. And I'm sure we'll learn later on whether or not he actually went with them or not. But I think he did go with him. Because it didn't say he left them or anything. It's just like, okay. After he told him to go, then the chapter ended. And then from there, we have to see what happens next and tomorrow, I guess. So yeah, this was our daily bread today. This Bible is always good to me. It's always something interesting happening, because I'm just like, ooh, okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. But I feel better after I read. I don't know about you, but yeah, I like this habit. I'm gonna see if I can keep it up every day this month, because I know I was falling out them other ones. I probably did maybe 5 days or something like that, but I'm trying to get back on track. So please be patient with me. And until next time, I'll see you next time. Good night.